Hey guys, welcome back to One Man Op Fishing. Haven't been able to get out and fish for a couple of days, so I thought we would cover what I keep in my tackle box. Now I know you guys have seen my tackle box in other videos, just haphazardly if you've been watching them at all. I usually just keep it in the trunk of my car and pick the poles back in there, and that way I can just go fishing at a moment's notice. I try and keep things light, because when you're on a one-man op, it's just you out there fishing or you and a buddy. You don't want to be lugging a bunch of stuff around. Now, I have seen some of the younger guys, they wear the backpack type thing. You know, they just toss all their lures in a shoulder harness backpack and off they go. That's a very good idea, and I'm looking into that because it's kind of a pain in the neck to haul the plastic container around, but I'm an old dog, so let's take a look. You can see that this thing is just beat. It's got the top access. This is how they made them almost 30 years ago, okay? You've got, you can see it's all yellowed from the sun and from age. It's barely hanging on. It's really time to upgrade. It's a Plano, which was probably the biggest brand when I was younger. I don't know if they still are. I like it because I can get into the top real easily. And you can see I keep this right on top. This is what I put. This is actually something that you put on your pole to hold things together. But I like to use it for bait. I'll keep my stick bait in there, an extra hook, an extra weight or two. That way if I'm fishing somewhere, I put it in my pocket. So if I'm fishing somewhere and I break my line or something happens, I've got something right there. I don't have to bring the whole box. Of course, I've got my my trusty hook remover. I recommend anybody invest in one of these, especially if you're bass fishing. You know, it's pretty easy to remove a hook from a bass's mouth if it's just in the top or the side or in the bottom, which is rare. But if it gets gut hooked, which does happen occasionally if you don't set the hook fast enough, or if the bass is just very hungry and just swallows your bait whole, you've got something to get in there and surgically remove it. So that's nice, okay? Right here on top, you can see I've got my stick bait, which I like to use quite a bit of. I've got different colors. You've got the Yum Dinger here, this one here, and you've got another one there. I keep a pair of wire cutters right there for the line. You've got my my Sharpie for blackening any of the lighter colored line. If I buy like a white line or a line that's a little lighter, I'll blacken it. This is a handy little do job here. It's just one of these things you can get for a few dollars. It just opens up. This one I actually got for free. I think it came in one of those packs, and you can see just very easy. Use that for cutting braided line. Got a bunch of other little tools on it, but I just can toss this right in my pocket, and then I'm ready to go. I can cut my braided line, remove the tag end, cut out any frayed line. Very, very handy, okay? Let's go ahead and open the top here so you can see it a little better. I like to fish for pleasure, but I like to be able to move. So up top here, I always keep my top water plug right there. Got an old Rapala, a medium diver, I believe, or a deep diver. Plastic frog. In South Florida, you always need to keep a little sunscreen in your tackle box, because you never know how bright it's going to be. This is one of the newer things I've bought. It's a chatterbait, which works very well. Okay, and then just all of my worm hooks right here. These are all 5/0 or 4/0, laser sharp, Gamakatsu, and I buy whatever I can find on sale. Some crimp-on little weights, probably 1/16 of an ounce. And I keep my bullet weights, probably 1/16 of an ounce. Put the medium ones there. Those are probably 1/4 ounce. These are the ones I typically use. You get quite a bit of wind down here, and this is the 1/4 ounce bullet. Again, I prefer the silver colored, you know, the lead colored, only because I think they draw a little more fish. I do have some tungsten, and I do use them, but and I don't know how much it matters, but it may matter a little. Okay, you open it up, and again, just more lures that I've accumulated over the past decades. You know, you've got a few more Rapala in here. That's the brand that was very popular when I was younger. I know there's 1,000 kind of lures now, but Rapala's been around a long time. Just different Rapala lures, shallow divers, medium divers, deep divers, and I've caught plenty of fish on them. This is the old, believe it or not, the Banjo Minnow from the 90s. I think I had went out to Bass Pro when these first came out and bought some. And this was a great idea. You know, it was before a lot of these swim baits came along that have the hook on the bottom or outside. And the idea behind this was that the hook goes in front of the lure, so the bait stays gooey. And I have caught hundreds, if not thousands, of fish on these old lures, and so I keep them in here. I still have some of the old hooks, the rubber bands right there. That makes them weedless. Okay, this is what the hook looked like. It was kind of like almost like a shiner hook. You put a little O-ring here, which kept the banjo minnow at the end of the bait, and then the rubber band went from here to the hook. It was a nice little weedless setup, and it worked very well. And they caught a lot of fish. I mean, was it a gimmick? Sure, but for 20 bucks, you got like 100 of these damn things, and hooks, and weights, and all kinds of other stuff. So it was not a bad deal. Again, more Rapalas, different sizes. I'm going to modify this one. I think I'm going to take the diver off it, use it kind of a topwater for peacock. They really love shiners, so I'm going to do that. Okay, over here I've got my bobbers when I fish with live bait, which I don't do a lot of, but I do love to fish with shiners for peacock bass. They love to gulp those guys down. Down here you can see I got room for more. You know, I don't even have this tackle box filled. Here's a line if you want to keep bass alive. I just do catch and release now, so I haven't used that in a long time. Then I've got just more hooks here. These are for live shiners. These are the live shiner hooks. They're a smaller hook, maybe a 2/0 hook, and you can see how they're shaped. They're shaped differently than worm hooks, but they work fine. Okay, let's get down to the bottom. This is where some of the bigger stuff is, of course. There's my scale. Again, scale's probably 30 years old. Some more stick bait, more yum. There's a yum dinger. There's Charlie's. I've been using Charlie's since I was a kid, since I started fishing, since I was a teenager. And you can see $4.95. This is a newer pack. Culprit, of course, also very good. I had some of the original Gary Yamamoto, which I tried out in the beginning. There we go. Got a Buzz King topwater buzz bait from Strike King. Haven't opened it yet, but that's very nice. Again, a little bit of a larger, won't fit in there, so I got a little bit of a larger bobber. I do like to throw the Bass Assassin soft plastics. They're like a minnow, and they work really well. Jerk bait. This is another brand that I have a local tackle shop that I go to. I try and frequent local tackle shops. If you have one in your area, instead of a Walmart or instead of a one of these other larger places, of course, Bass Pro, they carry these. This is kind of a larger stick bait. It's a 6-inch, but you can see it's a kind of a bigger stick bait. Instead of a 5, it's a 6, and it's also thicker. And I've caught some bigger bass on this. It's harder for the little ones to swallow. This is why I bought them. It's a nice pumpkin seed color. Again, $4.99 for 7 of them. Not a bad price. Here's my fluorocarbon that I use for leader. Haven't tied any of that on recently. I've been using just straight braid. Some more yum dingers. There you go. This is a camera I've had in this damn thing. You can see, guys, that we've been using phone to take pictures now for what, 10, 15 years? I've got to bring this in and have it developed. I keep telling myself that. In fact, I'm going to take this out so I can have that film developed. I don't even know where I'm going to have that done. Here's a spinner bait that I've been using. Again, I just leave it in there so I don't have to squeeze it down. I got a little tail on it. Some very old Berkeley monofilament, 12-pound, still fine. Got my fishing license in there. This is the other, I have a spinning reel, which you've seen in other videos, that I have 30-pound braid on. This is 10-pound Stren. Just have never used it. I had it in there as a backup just in case. All right. Oh, this is pretty good stuff. I have this in a Charlie's worm packet, but what it actually is it's Lunker lotion. It's another, this is kind of before they started putting attractants on all of your bait. All these basically come with it now. They come salt impregnated, or the yums come with, the yum dingers come with attractants already on them. You pick them up, they're slippery. That's why. What I'll do sometimes is I'll take a little bit of this and I'll just drip it. I'll open the pack and I'll drip a little in there and move them around and set it up that way. Get a little extra on there. I don't know how much the attractants work or how much you need them, but on a tough day of fishing, you want to pull out all the stops, So that's basically it. I've shown you pretty much everything that I take fishing with me. And again, this probably has, at retail value, maybe it's, maybe it's 100, 150 bucks worth of stuff in it. I'd say that's tops. The scale is probably the single most expensive thing in it. This was probably, back in the day, 25 or 30 bucks. But that's it. All this stuff is very inexpensive. Hooks and lines and all of this. Really, your biggest investment, I'm going to spin me around here. Your biggest investment is your rod and reel, really. And, rather than getting something, you can go to Walmart, you can go to Bass Pro, you can go to Academy, which we don't have down here in South Florida, and you could get yourself a beginner bass fishing setup for probably 50 bucks. I would try and get a decent, if you're going to fish worms, a medium heavy action pole. A spinning reel is fine. That's how I got started. I didn't start using a bait caster until I was in my late teens, early 20s. So it's very easy to outfit something like this. I think this box probably this Plano probably cost me 25 or 30 bucks back in the 90s. So again, you can do it a lot of different ways now, but I would go mobile. Again, that's the whole purpose behind one-man op fishing, is we're not using a boat, which we may in the future, but we're doing a lot of shore fishing. And when you shore fish, you're going to be doing a lot of walking. You might be walking around an entire lake, and you need to be mobile. So just wanted to show you guys so that you could see, and hopefully we'll be back soon with some more fishing videos. Again, it's been raining a hell of a lot here, and I've also been working a lot, so I haven't had a chance to just jump out. But very soon, I'm hoping maybe this weekend I can get out for a little bit. So, all right, Mike here with One Man Op Fishing. I will see you next time.